G'day, my name's Sam Stanford. This is my video presentation to accompany my report for Musi 240. The stream I've done is music technology. As you can see at the moment, I've got Unity open. Unity is essentially a, I forget what they're called now, but it's essentially a workspace where you can create programs. Specifically, Unity is created for games. IDE, an integrated development environment, that's what it's called. And this is where I've created Adapt. Before I show you too much of this though, I'm quickly going to show you Fmod, which is a third-party software which, as you can see, kind of looks a little bit like a digital audio workstation because it basically is. But this is what allows you to really quite easily create a lot of the adaptive changes that accompany the music, so the adaptive music. So just as a little bit of an example, you can see here I've got some different music stems. These are all the music stems that are used in the project. So stem 00 is essentially what plays all the time, so from the bass stem onwards. You can see that if I play that, it's just, oh, I forget what note it is now. It's probably middle C, to be honest. Just on repeat. I think it's just at the beginning of every single bar, it's just that middle C. The actual stems themselves don't have any reverb or effects on them. I've added that all in Fmod so that they don't get weird kind of tails at the end of the stems and stuff. And the way the adaptive music works, you can see along here I've got all these tabs, choice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way through 9. Now, when the participant makes a choice, these will change their value from 0, which they're all at the moment, to 1, 2, or 3, based on if they choose choice 1, 2, or 3 in the project. You'll see that in a minute. But as that changes, for choice 1, you can see I've got stem 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 for choices 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. So if they chose number 1, choice 1's value will go to number 1, which then activates that stem's volume. So all these stems are playing actually at the exact same time. It's just that most of them are muted. If they had have chosen choice 2, then it would go to number 2 and it would play stem 2 instead. You can see how stem 1 has stopped playing, stem 2 has started. If I make that a 3, stem 3 is now doing it. So that goes all the way along and they can make whatever choices they want basically, and it'll go along. Now, I'll show you how this works in the actual game. So here's the Unity project. Over on the right here, there's a whole bunch of different objects which have a whole bunch of different things attached to them. Don't need to know all of this, but essentially there's a room object, which is kind of like a container, and within that container I have rooms 1, 2, and 3, which are just the different layers that will get added. So there's the base layer, obviously, and then depending on whether they choose option 1, 2, or 3, one of those rooms will get taken out and splashed on top of here. As they do that, those different music stems will come in and play. Let's give it a little go, shall we? All right, so it's not perfect, but it's a pretty good proof of concept. Just loading up. All right, so as you can hear, that bass layer is already going. So let's start the day. So bass layer is still going, gives the person a little bit to appreciate the time, the space that they're in. Comes up with a thing. How did you sleep last night, young hero? Building on that hero's story, hero's adventure that we drew inspiration from. So you can either choose, you can choose any of these options. So if this was a touch screen, you would touch it. I'm just going to use my mouse. So did you sleep well? No fear for the day coming or night left behind. A peaceful restful start to your soul. That's pretty good. Did you toss and turn in anticipation? Did you wake throughout fear? Now, for the purposes of this, I've just done 1, 2, and 3. I normally toss and turn a fair bit at night, so I'm going to pick this one. And you can see that when I do that, it goes away, and you can hear that second stems come in. Gives it a little break, so you can appreciate any changes that have happened in the room and the music. The chime of your alarm fills the room. Oh no! Do you rise immediately and start the day? Oh, look, today I didn't. Today I snoozed, so I'm going to do this one here. And there you go. It's got another little layer in there. My dude's still sleeping away. It's time to start the day. We choose fuel, sustenance, head straight to recreation. Usually I wake up and I go and do some stuff in the garden, which isn't really on here, but maybe I'll do recreation or entertainment. We'll see. So like my little dude's come over here now and he's all like, yeah, I'm gonna watch TV in the morning. And you can hear, we kind of assumed that choice was maybe not the most healthy or best self-care kind of option. So you can hear that like that layer that got added isn't really dissonant, but it's kind of like, it almost adds like an anticipatory nature to this. Like it's not really super consonant and nice anymore. But that's okay. What's my next choice? How do you clear your mind, boost your body, and boost your mood and tone your body? That's a good question. How do I do that? The sun's shining bright. How about going out for a stroll? Go for a walk. I'm gonna be honest. I play games. This is what I'm gonna do. Recreational activity. Fun. Alright, cool. There's a bit more Discord in there now, because again, probably not the best thing I should be doing first thing in the morning, but who cares? What will you satisfy yourself with now? I'd probably prepare something by hand myself. Oh, whoops, that's going out for a walk. As I said, there's a couple of bugs still in there, but this is still pretty good. You're seeing the changes happen, you're hearing the music. So I'm just going to go through to the end now. See a couple of those things where the layers don't quite properly mesh, but that's alright. You can hear after every choice there's just a little bit added into that. Ooh, that's interesting. And that one imitates a phone, but you can hear how after each choice there's just a little bit more added each time. Essentially the idea was that kind of similarly to the way formal counterpoint works, you know, you've got your different species. If you kind of went through these species, you're like dividing the thing up more and more, and each layer's like getting smaller and smaller bits added. So rather than kind of going from semi-brief to kind of minim, now it's getting to the bit where it's like little bits of ornamentation. Cool, I'm going to turn out the lights, go to bed. Now, it's basically it, and then we get to the end here. How do you feel about yourself today? Oh, look, I don't really feel anything about myself. Now I'm doing yoga. That's the wrong image. But you can see how this works. Now, in a more traditional art space, you might feel like, let me turn this down a little bit. Okay. Anyway, in a more traditional art space, you might feel like that needs to be maybe a little bit more artsy, I guess. But for the purpose of this, we kind of went for something really simple, something that would really exemplify each of the changes as they came in, make it a bit obvious. I think something that'd be really interesting to go with in an art space would be to do something a little bit more artsy, where maybe you had like swirling colors and the colors changed a little bit based on your choices and that kind of thing. It'd be really interesting. But yeah, that was just a really simple demonstration of the project. Hope you enjoyed it. There's a lot more detail in the report. Mind you, there was only 2,500 words, so it's not as detailed as I would have liked. But have fun reading that, and thank you very much.